I recently did the Ragnar SoCal run and I'm repping the shirt today. It was so awesome. I wanted to talk a bit about the process of going through it, registering, and then give some feedback for anyone who's considering doing it. I got to do it for the first time this last April 2025. It was awesome because the whole thing is a relay race where you get together with either 11 other people or 5 other people, depending on whether you want to do the really tough regular Ragnar or the Ragnar Ultra, which is crazy, where 6 people end up dividing the total mileage. We did the regular one, which is still a challenge for sure, where we planned to have 12 people split up a relay race of 200 miles, where we started in we started in San Diego, California, and then ended in Huntington Beach, California. And I'll show a map of that whole trek right there. Overall, it was just so fun. It was tough though, because there's just so much running. Fortunately, I like running. I do train pretty often for that. And I was grateful to be awarded 2 medals as well. So we got the regular all-team member Ragnar Road SoCal 200-ish miles. I think it says 200-ish because I think it's about, let me see, will it zoom in? Okay, awesome, it does focus. It's close to 200 miles, I guess not exactly, oh, my bad. And then on the back, once all the medals are combined, it ends up being a bigger message, which is pretty sweet. I also got this medal, which was the Under the Sea medal. Basically, Under the Sea was the theme for this year. And this is a medal for completing the longest leg. There's a 10-mile leg over Torrey Pines in San Diego. It's tough. It's really hilly. I will say the first 7 miles of that one, I felt like I had it in the bag. I was maintaining about a 7-minute, 30-second pace. And then once I got there to mile 7, I was totally humbled. I actually had to walk for a third of a mile because it was so uphill. But I loved that whole process. So getting into some of the logistics, I think it was about $150 to register or something like that. Our team of 12 ended up being actually a team of 10 because 2 people had to drop out due to an emergency, which was unfortunate for them. Fortunately, they're all good now. However, that meant that the remaining 10 of us had to split up their legs as well. What do I mean by leg? Basically, the way it works is amongst those 200 miles, there's 36 legs, and those legs can range anywhere from 2 at the minimum to 10 miles at the maximum. Someone's gonna have to do one leg, and then they're gonna switch off a baton to a person at the next leg, all the way up from San Diego to Huntington Beach. So we basically divided those people's legs amongst us. I was glad that I got the longest leg because I didn't even know I would be getting a medal like this for doing it. That was just a bonus. For me, I just had so much fun. And I think it was so good amongst us 10 because we had a lot of really strong runners. We also had a few people who don't train that often, but they really gave it their all and they did a great job. Like everyone, after you do Ragnar, no matter what your status was before, you're a runner after Ragnar for sure. So in total, over my 3 legs, I ran 22.8 miles. And I think the minimum that someone ran over all their legs was about 14, which is still a lot. The time frame for this, we have 36 hours maximum to do it. I forget our exact time. I think it was closer to 30 hours. We start Friday morning and then we end Saturday afternoon. So we really gave it our all. And we had 2 vans, each including 5 people. So van 1, the way it works is they'll start their chunk of legs going from legs, something like 1 through 6. That takes about 5 hours. And then van 2 will get to the stop where the last runner of van 1 will end. So they can start their chunk of legs. Once van 2 starts, van 1, that group of 5 people, and in our case, if it's a regular team, it's gonna be that group of 6 people. They get about a 5-hour break to just chill, nap, rest, recover, boom. So it'll just keep going like that, boom, boom, staggered all the way up to Huntington Beach. Our team decided to get a hotel room as well, that way we could sleep at least a little bit. I ended up getting about 2 hours of sleep the night of Friday going into Saturday morning. That was very tough. In fact, I think the hardest thing about Ragnar for me was not the actual running, but the sleep deprivation. It was tough. I will say though that the adrenaline that everyone shares and the vibe, everyone's feeling good, ready, and you have all this other community of people who are also pushing through it. They're kind of sleep deprived as well, or more than kind of, but we're all in it together. That creates a shared bond of adrenaline, community, where everyone's like, all right, we're gonna do this for sure, even though it's tough. So I think all in, the cost with the hotel, snacks, registration was closer to about $400. Now, was it worth it? I think it was super 100% easily worth it. This was actually my first running event, which is funny because I've trained a lot. The longest I've ever run in training is 17 miles, but I've never even done a 5K as in an organized way. So for this to be my first running event was crazy, but it was awesome. I wouldn't have traded it for anything. $400 is a lot of money, and to be fair, you don't have to spend that money exactly if you do Ragnar. You do have to pay the registration fee. All the other things we bought, like the hotel room, snacks, those are optional. And I think, yeah, also renting the van, we split that cost. However, to make it the best experience you can, it'll probably end up being around that as well. But overall, I highly recommend it. I think it's such a good experience with good people. I felt like I got to get connected better with the people I was working with, the people I was running with. So it was just so fun. And the scenery is beautiful. At least 2/3 of the whole run are right on the beach, at least for the SoCal one. It's nice because you're on paved roads all the time. I will say one thing you should be aware of is you will have to run at night. Everyone has at least one night leg. And for me, that was actually my least enjoyable one. Not because it was at night, but just because the scenery was pretty boring. I wasn't by the water at that point. I was just running through a downtown area at night, and it was just pretty dull. But the other 2 legs I did were really awesome. Wouldn't have traded it for anything. And I was so glad because I actually got to be the one to finish. I did leg 36, which is the last one. So going across the finish line, we all tried to do it at the same time. That whole process was just so cool. I gave it my all for that last leg. So overall, highly recommend Ragnar. I'm not sponsored. I am repping it though because I'm really proud of it. It's fun. You get to walk away with some cool medals, some cool memorabilia of like, oh, I did this. I was part of this huge experience. Let me know if you have any questions.